let's not forget. Here is Manu Petit, part of that muscular midfield with Patrick Vieira for the Gunners, brought of course by Arsene Wenger from Monaco, and a title winner with the French side as well. This is Ray Parlour breaking forward. He's going to have a go from distance, but he drifts wide of the target. Didn't quite catch it, Ray.
No, I think he was going for the chip there. I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt, Dan. I think he was going for a little dink. But yeah, it wasn't as close as I think Ray would have liked that.
Memorable goal scorer in the FA Cup final, of course, against Chelsea. Chelsea side that featured Marcel Desailly that day, and well, it was only Ray Parlour then as it is now, but the outcome was very different. Terrific goal, nestled into the corner at the Cardiff Millennium Stadium, as everyone will remember. Let's see what Cafu can do. Hasn't got the pace that he once had. He was a terrific performer over on that right-hand side, a World Cup winner, of course, with Brazil, but still a competitive edge about the 46-year-old. Over 140 caps for his country. The ball has been swung in. Vieri might get a second opportunity here, and he's managed to win a corner. Christian Vieri, who was always a bit of a unit when he played, and still looks sharp enough inside the penalty area. Yeah,
big and strong, got onto that first, but just looking across Arsenal's defence, they look quite tidy, really. Justin Hoyt, Kolo Touré, and I know Nigel's really fit on the left-hand side, so they've got sort of all bases covered at the back.
Serginho with the centre, might fall inside the penalty area for a Milan player. Let's see, he was looking to try and shoot on sight, but Petit comes rampaging forward and will flick it up here for Pires now. Pires has got Ljungberg and also Overmars. It's Overmars, edge of the area. It's still Mark Overmars. Terrific stop by Abiati, who has to be quick to deny Ljungberg on the follow-up. Great football started by Petit. Abiati, though, denying Mark Overmars.
I told you, Dan, as soon as these old guys get going and a bit of competitive nature, it's a good interception and pass from Petit. Pires didn't disappoint with the ball through, and Overmars unlucky, really good strike and good save by Abiati.
Abiati, who's played at the Emirates before in a competitive match, let's not forget. He's 39, which for a keeper doesn't necessarily mean the end of your career. He played in the Champions League games back in the 11-12 season. You rightly call Milan defeating Arsenal by 4-0. Arsenal won here 3-0. It wasn't enough, beaten 4-3 on aggregate, but boy did we give the Rossoneri something of a fright that day. We were 3-0 up at half-time. Robin van Persie missing a glorious opportunity to make it 4-4. It didn't quite come off. Abiati was in goal that night here. A number of players have played at either Emirates or indeed Highbury that are on the pitch for both sides, obviously. Here is Hoyt looking to come forward. He's in an advanced position. Can he finish? Still going. Abiati will pounce on it. Not the assured defending we associate with Costa Curta.
It looks like Simic come in and saved him there just at the death. Really good touch from Justin Hoyt, though. First touch, take it across the player and get right in at the keeper. But Milan managed to scramble it back.
Overmars showing a little bit of pace. Cross not quite good enough. Ambrosini should be able to clear. Here is Gilberto. Now it's with Montalban over on that left-hand side. Desailly hopes to win it back and does. Boban looking for the run of Serginho. Kolo Touré, who's played 3 times for Celtic this season, the only member of the Arsenal side and indeed.
These games that's where you need your fittest players. If you've got 2 good fit centre-halves, I mean, week in, week out, the foundation side isn't lucky enough to have these sort of players. I play from myself, Jimmy Carter. We play as often as we can. A few celebrities, Tommy Walsh, Ralph Little plays, Paul Wood, Omar Rizza, who used to be at the club as young lads. We play in these games. The competitive nature is just there.
Incidentally, you may well have seen Gilles Grimondi come on for Ray Parlour. Rolling substitutions over the course of this charity fixture, of course. So Gilles Grimondi coming on. Title winner. Of course, Gilles, as was Ray, who may well have pulled a muscle, we think, potentially.
Yeah, I think it was the power in the shot, or was it maybe his toe got stuck in the ground a little bit and he has actually tweaked something. But we might see him back on. He's a tough lad, Ray. I've seen him get injured in these games and continue. He knows it's for a good cause. So we might see him on again, hopefully getting a bit closer to the goal this time.
We might see him for the celebrations afterwards.
We'll definitely see him for celebrations after.
Lundberg with a shot. Nabiati comfortable. As Favali helps out as well. Freddie still looks in good shape, doesn't he? He only retired a few years ago. Swede, who plays 75 times for his country, a double winner, of course, in his 5 years at Arsenal, part of that Invincibles team as well. Winterburn, Overmars. Desai, the covering defender.
Still got a nice bit of pace about him, Overmars, and he's still direct. You know, you can't take that away from him. He still wants to run at players in the box. I mean, it's important for Arsenal to keep it pressed up like it is now, because if they start dropping off and allow the Italians to have space, they could be dangerous.
This is Pires, and it's Hoyt. Easy for Abiati. It's a full-back shot, that I think. That
yeah, he's gone for the chipper as well, I think. Again, a bit closer than Ray's, and he hasn't pulled his thigh, so that's good. But Arsenal definitely having the lion's share of the attacking play at the moment.
Nice to see Justin Hoyt. He played for Dagenham in League 2 last season. Had a really good career at Middlesbrough. 31. Still potentially available for lower league sides, and you would have thought still capable, keeping himself fit at London Colney. Is the Trinidad and Tobago international. Has played some 17 times for Trinidad, even though he turned out for England under 21s. Option through heritage, and likewise his brother Gavin was also on the books at Arsenal a few years ago now.
Yeah, I don't see there's any reason why he shouldn't still be playing. You know, 31 years of age, as you say. He looks after himself, looking at him. Defenders can go on quite long, you know, and there's got to be a need for him. It's a shame he was playing in such a low league last year. I was so surprised. A friend of mine, Wayne Burnett, was the manager of Dagenham and Redbridge the year before. You know, I was surprised that they let Wayne go, but then when they get players like Justin, you're thinking, you know, he should be playing at a higher level, really.
Pires. Gilberto, who's a technical director at Panathinaikos, a club that he had much success at, a double winner in Greek football. It's Pires to flick it forward to Hoyt. And like a number of these Arsenal legends, still looking like he belongs on the pitch. Terrific performer in the Invincibles campaign. Simic, Desai. Bettini's touch. Desai once again. Now it's with Simic. Simic. Bettini with the layoff. Milan just looking to control that central area at the moment. This is Costa Curta. Now it's with Simic once again. Didn't quite bounce over to that right-hand side once more. Ljungberg. Pires with a layoff. Gilberto will help it on. Overmars on his way. Great ball back towards Robert Pires. And still! Oh! So close.
Really good Arsenal move again. 5-6 players involved in it, sweeping, and it just goes to show you, that you don't lose that fluidity, that skill, that ability, that awareness around you as an Arsenal player. That passing movement we could see next weekend. Quite as easy, Dan, from the first team. You know, the way they look for each other in tight little spaces. You've got a third man running. Really, really nice move.
62 Premier League goals and 162 league appearances for Arsenal. In comes the corner kick from Pires himself. And we would have got more out of him, of course, but for that bad injury against Newcastle that everyone will remember. Here he is again. Went on to play for Villarreal prior to that, of course, at Bordeaux and Metz, and a terrific international performer for France. And it comes once more towards Overmars. It's cleared away. Vieri on the chase. Di Canio likewise. Winterburn flying in quickly. Overmars to flick it on. Sigan tries to divert it goalwards, but it is comfortable for Abiati, who's the busier of the two keepers, you'd have to suggest. Definitely
Arsenal have been in Milan's defending third more than they've been in their own defending third, that's for sure. Nice tackle, nice bit of passion showed there from Nigel Winterburn. He doesn't lose it, played in a few games since retiring with him, and he's fit as a fiddle, Dan. Still looks after himself. Such a good reader of the game as well. And in this position, I reckon he could probably play in celebrity matches into his 60s. He's that fit.
Ambrosini looking for Vieri. He might have been able to battle for that a good 20 years ago, but it bounces through towards David Seaman. He receives a cheer from the Emirates faithful. And a player in that Super Cup final back in 1995, the clean sheet at Highbury. Winterburn looking to play it infield. The offside flag is up. I don't think Mark would have got to that anyway this time around.
Doing really well for Arsenal at the moment, Overmars. He's keeping Milan really on their toes at the back. They can't squeeze forward because he's playing on the edge of the line, and he's still got that little burst of pace. You know, he looks like he's, you know, maybe had a bit too good a living, shall we say. He's enjoying life. There's nothing wrong with that. He's enjoying himself. But he's still sharp at this end of the pitch, and here he is on the ball again.
Di Canio. It's good running from Cafu. Vieri inside the penalty area, so is Serginho, and the header down is comfortably saved. It may well have been just bouncing wide anyway. Gunners on the counter. Perez. Lundberg makes a move. Shimmy away from Albertini. Hoyt calling for it right-hand side. There's no one inside the penalty area. Don't be expecting players to bust the cut to get inside the 6-yard box. This is Ljungberg. Now it's Gilberto. Moves Petit for now. Grimondi. And now Ljungberg. Petit calling for it. Sliding challenge from Boban. This is Pires, caught by Ambrosini, according to Howard Webb. Pires stays down. And it's Milan that come forward through Paolo Di Canio. Now it's with Marcel Desailly. Champions League winner in '94, of course, for Milan. Such a powerful side then. Boban, a member of that particular vintage. Likewise, Costa Curta. Serginho came a little bit later. Curling ball, which Sigont manages to cut out. This is Petit. Keen to turn away from Desailly to teammates at national side level. Of course, Petit went on to play for Chelsea as well. This is Ambrosini with the interception. Now it's with Boban. Where's the option here? One of them is Vieri. Good stop from Seaman. And he won't get an opportunity to make the second save. He doesn't need to because Winterburn will smuggle it to safety. It's not going out for a corner. And Milan still moving forward, just too high for Ambrosini. This is Di Canio. One step over, then another short ball, but intercepted by Grimondi. But a decent start from Seaman.
Yeah, best chance of the game so far, I think. Vieira found himself in a lot of space. Good ball from Boban, I think it was. Slid it into him from that number 10 position. Really should have finished that. Yeah, should have gone 1-0 up there.
Overmars, who's gone down. Costa Curta sliding in.
I think he's had enough of Mark Overmars running up and down that wing, and it's come back to what we said before the game. You know, you do go a bit old school, and the old habits do come back. Because if you get him run down one side, it was give him a nudge, let him know you're there, and that certainly looks like what Costa Curta has done there.
Well, the first time that those two played against each other, group stages of the Champions League, Ajax versus Milan. Ajax won both of the group games home and away, went on to beat Milan in the final as well. There was no fluke about that final success. Great play from the likes of Overmars and Kanu, and plenty of legends coming out of that team. Here is Ljungberg for the Gunners. Cafu's on his backside towards Petit. Can he help it on? Difficult chance.
Yeah, good footwork there from Freddie. He's a little bit of a shimmy, and Cafu goes down. I haven't seen that very often when he was playing. But yeah, Arsenal are really doing okay in this final third. I think potential certainly to get a few goals. I'm quite surprised that it's 0-0 at the moment, Dan. We have had some clear chances at either end. And we've seen both keepers now make really first-class saves.
6 times the two sides have played against each other competitively. Also an Emirates Cup meeting here back in 2010. Arsenal winning the trophy that year as Paolo Maldini looks on. all-time Milan appearance record holder, 902, would you believe. He was part of the 91-92 Milan Invincibles side. They went the whole season unbeaten, and an absolute legend, not just for club, country, but in world football. Fantastic player.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, if you're a young player looking to sort of see how long a football career can last, just try and, you know, copy him. What he done, he looked after himself so well, hardly ever missed a game, was never injured. I think that was the key, to stay, if you stay fit. I know it sounds like, you know, it's silly, you last longer, of course you do, but you end up playing a lot more games, so the toll on the body should be worse. But no, if you can stay fit, it's great.
Let's see what Milan can do. Well, that's Nigel Winterburn sliding in. And the ball is out of play. It's not going to be a free kick. I think it is going to be a free kick. Cafu is going to take. Plenty forward for Milan. It's curled in. It's a dangerous ball that just flicked away, and it will bounce out for a corner.
I think with Desailly getting up there and Vieri, it's all day long they've got to be putting balls into the box. They're such two big guys. We saw Serginho earlier on as well. He's a bit of a big lad. He can get in there.
Well, he's got the ice back on the thigh, and it comes at the header. It's powered over by Ambrosini.
It looks like Ray might have tweaked one of his little thigh muscles there on that shot. See, that's not warming up properly. Always Ray's problem that was. Didn't take the warm-up seriously. I expect Gary Lewin to be having a word with him about that.
Brasini's heading on a regular goal scorer, just 29 in 344 Serie A appearances. A defensive-minded midfielder, scored some key goals in the Champions League over the years. Seeing on forward, now it's with Petit. There's Ray with the injury. Maybe we won't see him again because of that. Hope he's all right for his Talk Sport duties. Pires. Lundberg with the back heel. Gilberto looks to knock it back to the Swede. Now it's with Hoyt. Gilberto leaves it. Freddie still has it. It's still Ljungberg. It's Gilberto. Can he pull the trigger? Looking for half a yard inside the penalty area. Now it's with Ljungberg. Gilberto loses out. Thought he might take the shot on then, the Brazilian.
Yeah, I just don't think he had enough space. Wanted to get out of his feet a little bit more, but a good intricate play again. Everything going through Freddie Ljungberg as well.
Ball is dead at the moment. Let's get some match reaction. We have had 20 minutes here, and we can hear from Lee Dixon.
Okay, speaking at this kind of level when you come to me. Thanks, Sam. Lee, what have you made of it so far?
Well, it's been good. It's been competitive. I thought AC Milan might be a bit better than this. I think we've definitely got the upper hand. Pires running the show. Mark Overmars looks like he's put a bit of weight on, but he looks like he's never left the stadium. He's doing really well. It's a really good competitive game. Bit of a sad thing, Ray Parlour pulling a muscle after like 3 minutes, but he's got some ice on it. He should be okay.
Well, Ray Parlour pulled a muscle. What's Martin Keown's excuse?
Well, Martin's apparently the boss is saving him for an important.
Saving him, right?
Yeah, he's just headed over. He's saving him, but I tell you what he's lacking on the pitch is making up gabbing on the sidelines. He's kicking every ball, telling Arsene Wenger how he should be coaching the team and everything. So he's worth weight in gold on the bench.
Thanks, Lee. Back to you, Sam.
Lee Dixon on the sidelines, not involved today. Apparently, he's got a knee injury which has kept him out of proceedings here, unfortunately, Lee. But he did reveal there, as you heard, that Ray Parlour has pulled a muscle. Martin Keown's managing the side from the touchlines, it would appear, at the moment as well, as you heard, Lee. Martin, who I'm sure we will see at one stage, but he's desperate to get on, isn't he, Martin?
Yeah. But I think Martin, again, is one of those. I think he's got not the best knees in the world, so he's quite limited to the amount of pitch time he can have. So maybe we're just saving him as a super sub in case we need some goals at the end.
Hoyt for Arsenal. Now it's with Robert Perez, who's looked lively throughout the opening 21.5 minutes as we've had at the moment. Lee Dixon's thoughts just recorded a few moments ago. Overmars, who's gone close on a number of occasions. Over the head of Serginho. Now it's back with Hoyt and Ljungberg. Hoyt once again. Perez. Boban is the covering player. Croatian international of some standing. He was, of course, part of that brilliant Croatia side that made it through to third place in the World Cup back in 1998. Former Dynamo Zagreb player. And certainly happy for his services. This is Petit. Brasini slides in. Costa Curta takes a touch. Abiati takes no chances, but it's going to come straight back out the Milan keeper because Ljungberg has it. It's been busy throughout the game. Still, Freddie Ljungberg does get the crossing. Glancing header is wide of the target by Perez.
Close there, Perez with that header as he comes in. Just goes down to the right-hand post. Slightly wide, but Freddie Ljungberg really, you know, I mean, 2 years ago he was playing for Mumbai. I saw him in the Indian Super League, and you know he's fit as a fiddle still. And I think as the game goes on, the players like that will gradually stand out more and more. Gone a lot down the left for the first sort of 20 minutes with Mark Overmars just switching to the right now, and Milan Gloria really being pinned back quite a lot, Dan.
Yeah, Freddie retired just a couple of years ago, as David pointed out, playing for Mumbai, played in Japanese football, had a couple of years in the MLS as well. So won a Scottish Cup with Celtic, so was a globe-trotting player in the later stages of his career. Kanu's about to come on by the looks of things here, all smiles. Former Inter player, of course. A bit of success against Milan in his days at Ajax. Didn't really get too much to go at Inter, had health issues, as we know, but a brilliant performer for the Gunners, and, of course, for Portsmouth as well, an FA Cup winner. Yeah,
and the thing is, with Kanu, and it's no disrespect to him, he didn't look the fittest player when he was playing. He always had that slow, sort of big, long stride. I don't think he'll probably be any different today, but he will be super effective. He's so good on the ball. He's got lovely feet for a big fella.
Boban looking for Vieri. Kolo Torre is there, so he's Justin Hoyt. Hoyt will fashion the ball to safety.
Just comes alive in those little 5-yard spaces, doesn't he, Vieri in the box? He doesn't look like he's got a run in him, but over 3 yards, he's still deadly. And he's strong, he can hold the ball up, and you know he knows how to play the game, but he does liven up when the ball gets into him in the box.
Here comes the change. And the player to come off is Gilberto. Well, a real favourite here. There's many supporters suggesting that maybe he was let go a season or so too soon. FA Cup winner in 03 and 04, Champions League runner-up 06. And Kanu is on now for the Gunners. He's 40 now, 119 league appearances, a double winner. Once of Inter at Portsmouth, as we mentioned. And he looks exactly the same to me.
He does. He's just a big, tall, long unit who just looks rangy on the pitch. But just by his first touch there, he just caresses the ball, doesn't he? And he's just done a nice little back heel pass. He's still got the skills. Great ball.
Hoyt has got the pace still. Abiati likewise. Well, Abiati only retired the other season as well, so it's no real surprise to see him be very alert as Hoyt got forward.
Yeah, good ball inside from Freddie again, pulling all the strings. Justin Hoyt's pace gets him right up to the keeper. Tries to lift it over Abiati, but he's sharp off his line. He's gone out for a corner.
Pires gets ready to take. It's towards Sigon, and Brasini is there. Taken down by Albertini, given away by Albertini. This is Petit. And now it's with Hoyt eventually towards Pires on this right-hand side. Curling ball. And that's just going to strike Serginho and go out for another corner. Still 0-0 here. We've had 25 minutes. Arsenal Legends versus Milan Glory.
Quite a surprise as well. I wouldn't have said after 30 minutes, well, 25 minutes in a game with this sort of quality players that it would be 0-0, especially knowing that spaces do open up because of players' lack of fitness now, shall we say. But Milan playing defensively pretty well, tight. You know, Abiati's been called on a couple of times. He's done what he's had to do, and it's been the same at the other end, but without as much constant pressure from Milan on Arsenal's goal. But it's really surprised that it's still 0-0.
Petit towards the far post. He's kind of with a header. It is not 0-0 anymore because the substitute has found the corner. Abiati beaten, and Kanu who was part of the double-winning side, of course, back in 2002, and manages to open the scoring here. 31 Premier League goals, and this goal in this charity fixture cheered just as loudly. Well placed.
Yeah, ball comes back to Manu Petit, and I think it maybe just gets a tiny little deflection, that cross, kind of loops into the box just outside the 6-yard box, and Kanu calmly just nods it nonchalantly almost into the top corner. I think then we can see from this angle it's a better finish. Yeah, it's a really lovely controlled header. Look at that, right into the side net in top corner. First class finish. And Arsene Wenger standing up and applauding that one.
Desai, Vieri's flick, Albertini's touch, Boban loses out, Sigon saying to teammates get a little bit further forward. This is Ljungberg, Overmars close with Cafu, but Ambrosini has won it back, and there's suddenly a snap and a tempo to the game as Milan look to draw level. We've got 17 and a half minutes remaining of this first half. Di Canio will take. Did have a bit of success against Arsenal in his playing days, did Paolo Di Canio, infamously involved with Sheffield Wednesday a few years ago when sent off, the infamous Paul Alcock shove. But a terrific performance in his day. Didn't turn out that often for Milan, has to be said Di Canio. Just a couple of years and 37 Serie A appearances, but enough to win a title. Here he is again, claiming handball. Back towards Desai. Vieri waits inside the penalty area. Albertini's made his way forward. Kanu has won it back. And they are backpedaling here. They don't want to take him on. The rangy, familiar stride. Overmars. Kanu waits. It's still Overmars. And Ambrosini is in the way.
Arsenal really not taking advantage of that. 4 against 3, and as you said, Milan Glory just backing off those 3 defenders, not willing to take a chance on Kanu. Didn't want to get tricked or rolled over by him, but patience paid off for them in the end, and you know, Arsenal really fizzled out a good chance there.
Torre, Pires. David Seaman being serenaded at the moment. Overmars, who's been lively throughout. Now it's with Winterburn. He's not put a foot wrong just yet. Kanu. This is Grimondi. Over towards Overmars once again on the left-hand side. Overmars against Di Canio. Now it's with Petit. Winterburn. We're going to take a short break because we can go live to hear from Ray Parlour. His thigh muscle. Well, we will be hearing from Ray shortly. We've just seen Kanu flash one over the crossbar. This is Di Canio. Now it's Cafu looking to get the cross in. That looked like handball against Nigel Winterburn. It's not been given. It's just going to be a corner. Cafu is not happy. Nigel's got away with one there, has he?
I think he may have, and I think maybe the one that Di Canio appealed for earlier on was
it?
Yeah, maybe been touch and go. But the thing is, in these games, they're not always them sort of decisions. If you don't give them, it's almost a little bit of a wind-up from the referee's assistant to the player. There's always a cheeky smile or a little wink, you know, so it's all in good fun. But, you know, being 1-0 down now, Milan Glory will be looking to try and get back into this game, certainly. They won't want to lay down and lose this game.
Little change for you may well have spotted Angelo Carbone coming on for Dimitri Albertini. And Carbone, who had a couple of spells with Milan, only made 30 appearances, really known for his time elsewhere, but very much part of this Milan Glory side. And here he is, 48. Still looks trim enough in that central midfield area, certainly when compared to Albertini, that is.
Yeah, but after Albertini's initial sort of getting used to the pace of the game, which just above walking, he did okay. He sort of found a comfortable position where he didn't have to move away from very often. And you know, I made my debut, away debut at Liverpool against Jan Molby, and I didn't get a yard away from him the whole game. He didn't move out of a 10-yard square, Dan. I don't think he got a sweat on.
Very good player.
Yeah, I had the run around, and I didn't get near him, so you don't have to move around a lot.
Perez looking for the 1-2 with Ljungberg. This is Boban, and we can head pitch side and hear from Ray Parlour.
Ray, how gutted are you? 3 minutes and you're off.
I know, unbelievable. Obviously, I don't play a lot of football these days, and it's one of them sort of things. You warm up, you try and warm up well, but sometimes you just don't stretch enough, and gutted. But you know, I'm here. It's a brilliant occasion. And the main thing is we're earning lots of money for charity. If I play 3 minutes or not played at all, it's just great to be involved in it. And I'm gutted about it though, because obviously it's a great game, and really disappointed. Never mind.
Yes, I was going to say, it's a decent spectacle, isn't it? I mean, Kanu's come on and changed the game almost.
Absolutely, yeah, great header. He didn't score many goals with his head, but I think it was Lee Dixon's warm-up was terrible. So I think it's that's why my fire's gone. But yeah, you get things like that when you don't play on a regular basis now. You know, you're always going to strain something, and obviously your body's getting a little bit older, so you try and be like you was when you was 25, but obviously you can't do it now. But it's, as I said before, it's a great spectacle and a great turnout from the fans. And as I say, £1 million of charity. It's a cause well worthy of being here.
Ray, thanks for your time.
Cheers.
Hope you recover soonish and you're back again. Okay, thanks. Back to you, Sam.
Welcome back, Ray Parlour, speaking on the bench just a few minutes ago. Unfortunately, while you were away, you missed something that I'm sure you will see again involving Nigel Winterburn and Paolo Di Canio. We mentioned the Di Canio red card playing for Sheffield Wednesday against Arsenal. Obviously, there was quite a lot of afters in that particular incident, one involving Nigel Winterburn. It was nice to see them have a bit of a playful altercation just a few moments ago. Milan Glory coming forwards here. Seaman is there, though, to deny Boban.
Well, Vieira's nodded that up in the air, and Boban has really got a clear header, and I think he may have been a bit worried about Big Dave coming over the top and maybe, you know, giving it a punch with his head a bit close to it. But now Arsenal on the attack with Overmars.
Great touch from Overmars. Second is just wide, though.
Yeah, I think maybe he should have took that with his right foot, Dan. Should have took it with his right foot and bent it into the bottom corner. It's gone left foot, it's gone across the front of Abbiati. But up the other end, it was a good chance for Milan Glory to get it back to 1-1.
Well, Mark Overmars has been lively. He's been terrific over on the left-hand side. He's rolled back the years, and the Dutchman is to be replaced here with another very good winger in his day, and someone that David Hillier knows very well, Anders Limpar. So Limpar is on. The Swede comes onto a huge cheer. Limpar, of course, a title winner back in 1991. David's vintage, having signed from Cremonese. And meanwhile, Freddie Ljungberg coming on off for Luis Bonmorte, and another player who didn't play that often for Arsenal, wasn't here that long, but a real favourite amongst his peers and indeed the management. Went on to star really for Fulham, didn't he? As we know, the Portuguese. Those are the two changes.
Yeah, Anders Limpar joined bang in the middle of my time at Arsenal. You know, really good friends with Anders. Roomy with him on away trips, stuff like that. Lovely lad, great skills. Great skills. Luis Bonmorte played with him out in a tournament in Barbados a couple of years ago. Didn't have nothing to do with him while I was a pro, but you know, in the after pro circuit, great lad, really good player, looks after himself, still fit. So you know, he'll end up putting the pressure on Milan as well. It's really relentless. They've took off a couple of players and just put more pace on up front. Arsenal have, and Milan Glory are struggling really to get anything going up the other end, apart from where they're putting balls into the box, the crosses.
You may well see the Winterburn Di Canio incident once again. We're just going to try and play it in for you here. because it's interesting, isn't it? Because Paul Alcott, of course, was shoved to the ground by Paolo Di Canio. You've got a massive ban. Here is Di Canio, speaking of the former West Ham man. It's just wide of the target, but the incident, unfortunately, wasn't terrific for English football or for Di Canio, but when you look back at it now, it was rather amusing. And Nigel Winterburn went after Paolo Di Canio, didn't he, back in the day? And there was a bit of an altercation between the two. I think Nigel rather remarkably backed down before Di Canio eventually left the pitch up at Hillsborough. But yeah, funny that those two are once again reenacting that particular duel. Meanwhile, Milan have just gone close, very close, David. In fact, he's called it a goal, has he? It's Vieri that's scored here for Milan. David Seaman isn't on too happy. Where's goal line technology when you need it? Did he cross the line?
I think it did cross the line. I think we see that the first one, corner comes in here. Great save, reaction save from David Seaman. Yeah, ball's definitely in the back of the net because Dave Seaman's in the back of it when he grabs it out. But the initial saves, fantastic reactions from Big Dave there, but Vieri just nodding it in, and Nigel Winterburn fighting with him on the line, trying to keep the ball out, but we said it was going to come from a ball in the box, you know, something lofty where they can get their big men on it, and they have. So it looks like we'll probably be going into half-time if there's nothing else, no other goals at 1-1, but it's been a good first half, and I said Arsenal defence have been pretty solid. It's only those balls into the box, those crosses, that are giving them any sort of trouble.
So Vieri has drawn Milan glory level. We are 1-1. Here is Hoyt, and now it's with Pires. Back towards Petit. Pires once again. 7 minutes to go until half-time. This is Boamorte. Now it's with Kanu. Limpar unable to get there. Of course, an FA Cup winning with Everton. Moved on from Arsenal to Everton. Here is one of the Milan substitutes, Simone. Serginho calling for it. And here is the Brazilian. Helped on towards Ambrosini. And eventually it's just going to filter through towards David Seaman, who takes a tumble to the ground. And Carlo Torre will resume here for Arsenal. So we want a piece here. The pace of the game has just slipped a little over the course of the last few minutes, certainly in and around that Milan glory goal. Now it's with Hoyt. Eventually it's gone towards Boamorte. Sliding challenge coming in from Carbone. Bob Wilson looking on with Lee Dixon and Ray Parler. Winterburn. Limpar, from one challenge and another, very quick in his day, and as Limpar is 50 now, 96 appearances in the league for Arsenal. Playing obviously in Sweden, a player that was part of the Swedish side that managed to make the World Cup semi-finals back in 1994. Here is Hoyt and Boamorte, shoulder to shoulder with Carbone. There's only one winner there, and the ball goes out of play. So Torre will work the throw. Will he? No, he won't. Here's another change. Marcel Desailly is about to come off. And it's Stefano Aranio who is about to come on. Former Derby player, 95 appearances for Derby, 3 titles with Milan. Most of his career at Genoa before moving to the big boys of Milan after helping Genoa move from Serie B to Serie A. This is Gramondi. Now it's with Boamorte. Gramondi again. Kanu. This is Hoyt. Boamorte once again. Hoyt calling for it back. Gramondi will help out. Plenty inside the penalty area, but how many are at the other end? Infield for Ambrosini. Work towards Di Canio over on that right-hand side. An opportunity for Milan to get plenty of players forwards here. Chipped inside the box, but that's overhit towards Vieri. It's just going to bounce out of play. Grimondi unable to keep it in, but it doesn't matter. It will be an Arsenal throw. Milan have struggled. The first team, of course, recently only 7th in Serie A last season. Won only 2 of the last 11 games in the top flight. They dispensed with the services of Sinisa Mihailovic, who was in charge for the bulk of last season before being sacked, and then of course he was replaced by Christian Brocchi and Vincenzo Montella in charge as Martin Keown waits to come on, maybe for the final few minutes of this first half. This is Perez. Petit. Or Morte second to that one. As Simic helps out, now it's with Ambrosini. Did make the Coppa Italia final. They were beaten by Juventus. Ambrosini and now Serginho. It's this familiar, studious look as he looks to make the change. Martin Keown, who waited alongside Arsene Wenger in scenes such as this in the Invincibles year of 03-04, when he was making sure of his 10 appearances towards the end of that campaign to pick up the Premier League winners' medal. You need to win 10 to grab a medal those days. Occasionally the boss used to make him wait. Vieri. And Pat Rice alongside him as he was for that season and many seasons. Carboni for Serginho. Vieri, that's decent towards Serginho. Ambrosini is calling for it. Petit does get there. Ambrosini unable to just turn it towards goal. Di Canio, and then the volley is just over. It's a really good hit as well. Flashing over the bar on that occasion. Certainly got a hold of that. Really good pullback from the flank from Di Canio. Swerving shot that probably would have beaten David Seaman. Morte. And still Winterburn in field. Kanu back towards Winterburn. Berg inside the penalty area, so is Morte. This is Kanu. Winterburn has got forward on the left. Or rather, Limpar has got forward on the left. It's easily cut out. Simone took that shot on just a few moments ago. Now it's with Di Canio. Serginho calling for it. Di Canio still has possession. Simone. Touch to turn away, but turns into trouble, and Colo Torre is there. Morte. Approaching half-time then. 10 seconds or so remaining of Arsenal Legends versus Milan Glory. One apiece. Kanu opened the scoring. Vieri a scrambled equaliser. Limpar looking to try and size one up potentially. Now it's with Grimondi. Perez. Petit. Howard Webb blows for half-time. Entertaining opening 45 minutes. Kanu scoring before Vieri managed to equalise. He's been something of a handful here for the likes of Colo Torre and Co at the back for Arsenal Legends. Kanu rolling back the years with a pinpoint header into the top corner after good work over on the right-hand side. Kanu on as a substitute, of course, in that first half, but doing enough to nod beyond Christian Abbiati, who's been arguably the busier of the two keepers. Abbiati has made some good stops from the likes of Overmars and Hoyt, who's got forward over on that right-hand side. Nigel Winterburn has a quick chat with Howard Webb as the two sides come off. Milan Glory have made a number of changes, but certainly got into the game as the half wore on, and arguably deservedly got level with that scramble Vieri effort, who has seemingly come alive in the box, but not too much. He's a player that And certainly got a lot of presence inside the penalty area, and thankfully just the one goal so far. We will see a number of changes, of course, for the second half. Looks like we're going to see Cafu, a Brazilian World Cup winner, a Copa Libertadores winner, of course, back in the early 90s, and he will come on for the second half. Dida will come on for the second half, of course. So as it stands, it's one apiece.